Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold. Well, I spoke too soon. Last video I did about Madonna's Crave single, I talked about her positive reviews for the end of her San Francisco shows. And then she went to Las Vegas and she had a very disastrous opening night. There's no other way to spin it, it was a disaster. Now, Madonna has often come out late to shows. Now, the standard practice would be a show starts about 8:30, and most people expect that, and most general audience expected that with Madonna. And she started showing up 2 hours late all the time, and eventually they changed the start time and announced that the show will start at 10:30. That way, she wouldn't appear to be that late, and she still was showing up at 11, 11:30 sometimes anyway, so she was still late. But people expected it to be a later show and planned accordingly, which helped, but it still was a bit unreasonable to ask people to do that, especially after already selling the tickets. Like, if she'd announced before the show went on sale that, oh, this show is going to be a late night show, that would have made a bit of a difference. It's a bit unfair to spring it on people after the fact and then assume them to just adjust their timetables, their schedules, their public transport, all this sort of stuff, their work, all this sort of stuff. It's very inconsiderate. Um, but this time, she showed up 2 hours late for the later start time. So people were told she'd start at 10:30. The doors opened at 8. People were told she'd start at 10:30. She didn't start till 12:30 or 12:45. So 2 whole hours late from the late start that they put in, so she wouldn't appear late. That's pretty bad. That could be a record. I think the Australian Tears of a Clown show was her record for being the most late, and I was waiting for that. But that wasn't like a standard show, so it sort of is sort of its own little thing. But so far as shows go, I think this could be her latest. 4 hours late from when one would expect a show, 2 hours late from the later announced start time. So yeah, fans were not happy. They were booing, they were chanting refund, 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 and there were apparently from several news sources, like Fox 5 and a couple, oh god, I forgot the other one I was reading. There was two of them. I'll look up later. They were claiming 500 people got refunds either before the show when they just refused to wait for her to come, or during the show when she already was late. So that's pretty bad when you have an audience of 1,000, 2,000, I'm not sure what the Coliseum holds, and 500 people ask for refunds and get them. If you don't think that's a problem, you've got a problem. That's really bad. I mean, I think Madonna has been inconsiderate with fans, and I've said it before in videos, and people have been like, "How dare you? She's Madonna." And I'm like, well, she still does shitty things. I love her, I'm a fan, but she still does bad things. Like, if you start a show 2 hours late and make people wait, inconvenience them, and some people have to leave before the end of the show so they can get home, and that sucks. I mean, when I went to the Tears of a Clown show, I had to walk home because the last of public transport, which should have gotten me home, assuming the show started when they said it was going to start, and I didn't have money for a taxi on me, and I just ended up walking home. And a lot of people have had similar issues. But when I was at the concert, part of the reason why I got up front on the barrier a couple of times was because people left. People left halfway through the concert because it was so late. They had to go home. They had to do other things, and they weren't expecting it to be that late. So the area around the heart stage sort of thinned out about halfway through. So I was sort of behind a couple of people to start off with, and then I actually was on the barrier for half the show because people just left and there was room. So it was good for me because I'm a night owl and I work casual. I don't have to worry about doing the 9 to 5 every day and having to get up. So I understand why people are so annoyed. And I just don't know what else to say about it. Just that it's. And the other thing, she was supposedly rude to the audience. She apparently called them poor. She was criticizing them. She tried to make jokes about being late, and they were just seen as sort of immature, and she just missed the mark, and it just didn't go well. And I think actually there's a few Twitter responses I think I'll read.